College football AP top 25 week 5 poll. Let's go over the poll. Who's changed, who went in, who's up, who's down, and everything in between. Disclaimer, if it says AFCA coaches poll here, disregard that. This is the AP poll. ESPN has an error on their website. We caught it. Here are the new rankings that just came out. Georgia stays number 1 with 61 first place votes. Last week they had 57, so they went up 4 votes. Michigan stays number 2. Ohio State moves up 1. Florida State moves down 1. Texas moves up 1. USC moves down 1. So your top 4 are Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State. Georgia, 61 first place votes. Ohio State, 2 first place votes. And then you see there in 8th, Washington, a biased West Coast voter, maybe giving it right there, giving them 1 first place vote. So rounding out your top 10, USC 6, Penn State 7, Washington 8, Oregon 9, Utah 10. Oregon had that massive win over Colorado, was not a close match, and we're going to show you some of the scores in the full video gridiron roundup, so go ahead and check that out. It's in the link in the bio. The rest of the rankings, you have Alabama at 11. They move back up 1 after their win this week against Ole Miss. LSU 12. Notre Dame moves down 4 with their loss at the last second to Ohio State. Oklahoma stays even. North Carolina up 2. Duke up 2. Washington State, big win over Oregon State, move up 7. Miami moves up 3. Tennessee moves up 1. Ole Miss moves down 4. Oregon State moves down 6. And we just talked about Ole Miss lost to Alabama. Oregon State lost to Washington State. And then 4 new teams move in the rankings this week. Missouri, Florida, Kansas State round out. Who else received votes? Next closest team was Fresno State with 93 votes. Kentucky, TCU, Maryland, Texas A&M, Louisville, UCLA dropped out with their loss. Clemson, Syracuse, Colorado dropped out with their loss. They only got 29 votes in top 25. That was a big whooping that took them all the way out. They think that they couldn't beat any of these teams if they're not in the top 25, which is interesting because they beat TCU to start the season. Air Force, Iowa, Tulane, Wyoming, Marshall, James Madison, Liberty, Georgia State all received votes. Drop in the rankings. Iowa, Clemson, UCLA, and Colorado. So here's your top 25 right here, as we just talked about. Scrolling through again, 25-1. Kansas State, Kansas, Florida, Missouri, Oregon State, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Miami, Washington State, Duke, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, LSU, Alabama, Utah, Oregon, Washington with 1 first place vote, Penn State, USC, Texas, Florida State, Ohio State, 2 first place votes, Michigan, and your top team again, Georgia with 61 first place votes. If we look at week 4 ranking really quickly for you, this is where the AP top 25, you can see against the AFCAT coaches poll. Georgia, Michigan, Texas, Florida State were your top 4 in the AP top 25. Coaches poll had Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Ohio State, USC, Texas rounding out their top 6, and then USC, Ohio State, their top 6. So a little bit different there. When you scroll down, 7 through 10 for top 25, Penn State, Washington, Notre Dame, Oregon, Penn State, Washington, Notre Dame, Utah, and then Oregon. So expect this probably to be flipped. Utah did have a good win against UCLA. And then just scrolling through so you can see the rest. Who was there, who's not. Colorado probably going to be out of both the coaches' polls you would expect. UCLA will. Washington State will. Clemson will. Iowa probably will. So these teams are out of the AP poll this week. Would not be surprised they're out of the coaches' poll. This come out usually a day after. So next week when we do a college football review, we'll show you the AFCAT coaches poll. But for this week, we have your week 5 AP coaches poll. This is your college football rankings, week 4 review, meaning we're previewing week 5 because the AP poll just came out. Go ahead and subscribe. We'll give this to you every week. And of course, on the Gridiron Roundup, we have the full show out of our week 4 review, diving into storylines, key games, summaries, and more. It's link in the bio. Go check it out. We also have Gridiron Roundup for NFL. We put out previews on Saturday and then reviews on Tuesdays. We have European Football Roundup twice a week. And we have Hoops Roundup plus MMA Roundup. So we got all the sports for you. Come back here. Thank you for watching. Comment your thoughts. And of course, subscribe. Randy Silver, Gridiron Roundup, out.